Minecraft's basic world makes it possible for every player to make it from the beginning of the game to the final Ender Dragon fight, providing the player with everything they will need to survive and biomes for everything from rivers to rolling hills and snow biomes, even villages to trade your way to the top. But what if you had none of that? Welcome to Minecraft Superflat, a barren land home to scattered villages and run by the pesky slimes that spawn 24/7. The true survival challenge of Minecraft is everything that you'll need to finish the game comes from farms or villager tradings. But is it possible to beat Superflat in 100 days? I'm gonna find out. I started off looting the nearby villages. My mission early on was to get loads of food and find a blacksmith as soon as possible. This would hopefully give me iron tools, armor, or even diamonds. Thankfully there was a tree in the village so I could get some basic tools from the start. I found some papers in the cartographer's chest, which was huge because this is the only way I'd be able to get paper since sugarcane can only be acquired from the wandering trader. I thought that finding a blacksmith was going to be really hard because in my other attempts it took me up to 20 days to find one. Thankfully this village had one. It even had obsidian in the chest. I continued raiding some of the villages before I watched the sun disappear over the horizon on my first night. I decided to use my new trusty sword to kill the iron golem. I used the ingots from this to make a bucket and take the lava from the blacksmith to use in a cobblestone generator. I left for a new village and found another blacksmith. The chest was disappointing. Like, come on. 3 bread and 3 apples? Really? Of course I still took them though. I tamed a horse that I found in one of the villages, which was going to make travel way faster. I didn't give it a name for the whole series, so comment down below what I should name him. While riding into this village on day 4, I noticed something in the distance. It turns out I happened to randomly come by a stronghold while raiding villages. This village ended up being my home for the next 96 days and it's going to undergo heaps of transformation. I did what I always do when entering a village with a blacksmith. This chest gave me enough obsidian to make another portal so I didn't have to go searching for more blacksmiths. But as luck would have it, this village had 2 in it and the second blacksmith had a jackpot chest as I finally had diamonds. I set up a little tree farm and a cobblestone generator and got to AFK mining. After a day of mining cobblestone, I decided it was time to build a farm. I just went with a basic multi-tier farm. It's by no means the most efficient, but it would do. This is probably the best time to explain why I'm doing this challenge in survival instead of hardcore. Well, as I mentioned, this isn't my first time attempting this. I attempted this video 2 other times, both in hardcore. I wanted to actually be able to complete this challenge. But if you want to see me attempt this challenge again in hardcore, leave a like and I'll give it a go. On day 8, I made my first villager trade. This was the first of many. I fixed up the paths in the village, mainly because the rest of the day resulted in me running around not knowing what to do. I did some AFK cobble mining and got over half a double chest worth of cobblestone to build a mob spawner. It's really weird seeing these bird's eye views and these time lapses of things that I built late in the beginning of these 100 days because playing on this world for so many hours, I didn't realize how much things really changed. And it's really weird to just look back at how it started and it's just completely unrecognizable. All that was left to do was put trapdoors down, which almost went bad. But once it was finished, the mob spawners was working great. It was working so well that a friend decided to pop in. But instead of talking, This is why I chose survival. Day 18, I decided to explore the stronghold. The libraries are a really good source of books, which is going to be really helpful when I got an enchantment table. Eventually, I reached the portal room and realized that I would need 9 eyes of Ender to make it to the end. I finally mob-proofed the top of my mob spawner to make sure nothing spawned on the roof that would stop mobs from spawning on the inside. I also splurged on an iron door to keep villagers out of my house. I decided to start building an iron farm. This isn't really important though because it won't be finished until about day 57. Day 25, a quarter of the way through. Mostly I spent this day killing slime and using my mob spawner. I visited the nearby village and added another level to my farm. On day 26 I woke to another wandering trader. Hopefully this time he won't kill me. I was able to get my first sapling that was an oak and also got some moss from him. The first acacia tree. Day 27 was a big day. This is what I like to call the start of the Great Flood. You see, no mobs can spawn in the water, meaning that I could lower the amount of slime around my village. I figured I should probably have something to keep my village safe as well, so I dug a small moat around it. Then it was time for the Great Flood to get greater. I got this idea while watching MogSwamp's Superflat Let's Play, where he has created a massive ocean around his base. is actually the inspiration for this video, so I'll leave his link down below so you can check him out. And while you're checking things out, why not check out that subscribe button? Give it a click while you're at it. It takes 2 seconds and it's absolutely free. Today saw the start of my base being built. I had to pull it up to Y level 40 as this is where slimes would finally stop spawning, and by now it's no secret that I hate slimes. My base needed these 2 massive circles built around it, which were the most annoying things I've ever tried to build in my 10 years of playing this game. Like seriously, I had to destroy these things so many times just to get them to line up right. Nether time, baby! And since I didn't have gravel yet, I had to burn some wood to get the portal to light, and I had no clue if this would even work. The whole point of this trip was to get soul sand to get up to my sky base quicker. With the soul sand collected and the water column built, it's time to test it out. I also made a column to go down, but it was way easier and quicker to just jump. I spent a few days slime proofing the village, which meant expanding the Great Flood and turning slime chunks into path blocks. Everything was fine until my mob spawner was blown up and mobs took over. Miraculously, I only died once during the whole debacle, which is a pretty big deal. Go me. Speedrun, here's a summary of these 10 days. I stole some villages from another village, I made an enchantment table, traded for a cactus and mangrove propagule, decided to go on an adventure for more diamonds, and then returned home 8 days later having found none, but dying many times. I figured out how to get a zombie from my mob farm to my iron farm. The answer? Minecarts. And a rail system with a roof so the zombie maybe doesn't burn. But mostly, minecarts. Look at him go! With the zombie in his hole and chat for eternity, it was time to build the iron farm. I followed an iron farm tutorial by a YouTuber named Waddles, so if you want to use the same design, I'll link his video in the description. Another speed round? Okay. Villager trading? Check. Stealing more villages? Check. Sheep farm? Check.
Did you build a room around your nether portal to stop your villagers from falling in because you got sick of rescuing them after you did it once?
Damn it. Built a room around my nether portal because my villagers kept falling into it and I got sick of rescuing them after the first time? Check. Search for hours for another fortress only to find one 50 blocks away in the other direction from your portal after you've given up on day 69? Check. Day numero
70.
It's time to fight the Ender Dragon. Am I prepared? Probably not. I only have 30 more days to defeat him and I still need to finish my base. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here's an uninterrupted view of the final moments of the fight. It's time to complete the base. A good amount of these days was spent placing dirt and building walls, which is super boring content, so here's 8 hours of building in less than a minute. And in case that was too fast for you, here's the last 9 blocks. Now it's all coming to an end as the sun begins to slowly rise on our last day. I decided I would try to finish my chest room in my new base before the sun goes down. But after a whole day of building, I realized I wouldn't get it done. It was time to say goodbye to the world I had created over the last 100 days. I watched the sun shine on day 101. I reminisced on the world that I'd transformed since the beginning. The little village now protected by a flood. The hole in the world where I'd collected all my dirt. My sky base built to destroy slimes. Soon it will just be a memory. I took one last stroll through the village. Said goodbye to my horse, who still had no name after 100 days. Said goodbye to my sheep, my most recent addition to the village, before turning to my house, bursting at the seams with chests. My home for the past 100 days. I stared out the window just like I had in night 1. And just like that, it was over.